Hey everybody, this is Matt Niblock with Fancy Friday, and welcome to the Fancy Friday pre-show. So every week in the pre-show, we talk with a representative of the nonprofit we are supporting. And this Friday, today, we are going to be talking with Sarah Carmichael. So thanks so much for joining us, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Sarah is the executive director of Iowa Rivers Revival. And we will definitely jump very deep into Iowa Rivers and what they're all about here in a second. But before we do that, I just want to remind all of our viewers that Casual Friday is canceled. That's right, we're putting the sweatpants back in the closet. And I always like to show you some of my favorite casual clothing. So this week I brought, I would say my most favorite the very thick sweatshirt. It looks like I'm like some kind of Norwegian or Scandinavian every time I wear this thing because it looks quite Nordic. But Sarah, do you have a piece of clothing that is your favorite casual clothing?
Yes, I usually just do like t-shirts and sweatpants, and one of my favorite t-shirts is this one I got from our partners at the Side Garage, and it's all about the earth in Iowa, and they were selling them during Earth Day, so.
Awesome. Yeah, that's some sweet gear. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this and we're going to get rid of it. So get rid of it because this Friday, remember, is Fancy Friday. And so let's go ahead and let's jump right into Iowa Rivers Revival. So Sarah, can you just tell us a little bit about, what is Iowa Rivers Revival?
Yeah, of course. So Iowa Rivers Revival started in 2006 by a group of dedicated paddlers or people that were really into the environment and being outside. So they felt that there was no nonprofit dedicated specifically to rivers. So they formed Iowa Rivers Revival and created the mission that we still have today, which is restoring, protecting, and enjoying Iowa rivers. So we're all about getting people out on or along the river and providing education and advocacy about our rivers.
Awesome. So let's jump right into that then, because you provide all of these different things. So, I mean, give me a little bit more about what you do.
Yeah, so we do different events throughout the year. That's kind of taken a pause right now due to the pandemic, but we've done like river cleanups here in Des Moines, where we're based out of. We've done Earth Day celebrations, but our two main focus areas are really that education and advocacy pieces. The education component, we have different programs, including a river restoration toolbox training program and a master river stewards program. The toolbox training is really for engineers or architects or people that are really interested in restoring or modifying a river to benefit that area and the nature and the river. So we do have a couple of those being offered later this year in September and October. So people can sign up or learn more about that on our website, iowarivers.org. The second kind of educational piece is our Master River Stewards program. It's kind of based off of the Master Gardener program, and that's been around for a bit. We've done it throughout Iowa, where we'll work with a group of individuals that are just kind of the general public that want to get to know more about rivers, any issues facing the river, and then how they can positively impact their local river. We also take them out onto the river, teach kayak and paddling skills, and at the end, they're able to do kind of this big project that does some education, work, or they'll do like a cleanup as a group. So it's a great way. We have a couple in the works. We work with like county governments and county organizations so that we can really kind of hit all of Iowa instead of just central Iowa. So be on the lookout for those, but nothing on the books right now for that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so and then the other kind of aspect that we really feel is important is about advocacy. So we really work and we talk with our legislators when they're in session and even when they're not in session we've taken people, legislators specifically, out onto the river so that they can really see kind of the gem that is their backyard if they have a river in their community. And so we work on getting more funding with our partners at the Department of Natural Resources. The funding can go to kind of education like REAP, or it can go to dam modification. So we have a lot of low head dams in the area in Iowa. They're dangerous for people and they really impact the environment. So we work on getting those removed or modified. So we do a variety of things, but we really believe education and advocacy are the ways to make a difference.
Sure. So let's just take a step back really quick and just say, you know,
Yeah.
why is it important for us to care about our rivers at all? Like, what
Yeah.
difference does that make in our day-to-day lives?
That's a great question. So rivers, actually, most Iowans actually get their drinking water from our rivers.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so especially Des Moines, we get our water from Des Moines River and the Raccoon River. And so being able to protect them and provide a benefit, you know, to so people have safe, clean water is really important. But on the other hand, rivers provide a way of increasing tourism for a community, increasing recreational activities, being able to keep jobs here in Iowa, because if you have a good environment, people want to stay here with their families and raise their families. So rivers do provide a variety of things, but you know, they really do have a big economic impact for local communities.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's so huge. You know, if people just put it into the context of anything that I dump in this river is going to end up coming through my tap at my house, you know, you start to think, oh, maybe I shouldn't throw this plastic out my window as I'm driving, because it's going to end up in a place that's going to impact yourself once again, or somebody else that you might be doing it upstream. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it definitely takes a lot of energy and money for you know, water industries and water operators to remove any pollution that is found in the river. So if we can prevent it, that's the key.
So let's jump into that then when we talk about the viewers that are watching. How can they help? Number one. I know it's easy to give money, which is certainly great. So we can start there and then talk about, you know, your volunteer things that you do as well.
Yeah. So, you know, we are a very small nonprofit of one. I am the sole employee, but we do have a volunteer board and a group of really dedicated individuals that want to see this organization thrive and really grow. And that's definitely a long-term plan of mine as well. So, you know, any dollar amount that is given really does make an impact and does go a long way. We do have a river championship donation level of $250 a year. And as a thank you, you kind of get a small gift. I think this year we're looking at giving away bandanas, which would help along the river, you know, if you're out in the heat to keep you cool, but also it kind of goes along with this COVID pandemic issue.
Sure.
Yeah, so donations are always needed and always really appreciated. But there's other ways to get involved, like we were mentioning, just being a good steward of the environment and not littering or picking up trash that you see. We also have you know, our listserv. We send out monthly newsletters and updates. We also, especially during session, it's really important, where we might have like weekly messages of, you know, contact your legislator about this bill, or, you know, we want this funding for this, you know, this protection, environmental protection bill. Yeah, so joining our listserv, iowarivers.org, joining our Facebook group, and then really, you know, contacting your legislators, it goes a long way. We elected these people and we want to make sure that we are making sure that they understand the importance of rivers, not only again for that drinking water aspect, but for recreation and tourism and money that it can bring the community. So making sure that they know why rivers are so important to you and your family.
Fantastic. Well, Sarah, thanks so much for joining me today, and thank you for your support of Iowa Rivers. It's fantastic. Your organization obviously does an extremely valuable task of keeping and restoring Iowa's waterways for, like you said, drinking purposes, for being able to get out there and check out how beautiful Iowa is from a little bit of a different vantage point than we traditionally would. Jen, for everybody that's listening, just remember that you can also join in. So this Friday, we're going to cancel Casual Friday and make it a Fancy Friday. And so don't forget to dress up, send a selfie out there of you all dressed up with a donation link. And remember, any donation helps, whether it's $5, $10, $100, whatever you can do. And I will share a link on this video's comments so that we can get those donations started. So before I let you go though, Sarah, you have one really important task left to do. And that's that my guest every time gets to choose which jacket should I wear on Fancy Friday. And so I have two options for you. I have kind of the Ron Burgundy jacket here. And then I also just have a nice blue blazer. So which one are you going with this time around?
I think I'm going to go with the blue because water is blue and I like that.
Perfect. So going blue jacket, awesome. And once again, thanks so much for joining me. And we will see how this week goes with Fancy Friday. So excited.
Great. Thanks so much, Matt.
All right.